In every man's life, there comes a moment when one must search for a cause, a work, an ideal under which he must give himself. Whether he says yes or no is a challenge to be determined in the future. There comes a moment when we become tired of trying to fill a bucket that is leaking. From inside, as we must get a new vessel. There comes a moment in a man's life when to get where we have to go, where there are no doors or windows, we must walk through walls. There comes a time in a moment of a man's life when he must choose to stand or run. A moment when you must look up the bench and you have to say to yourself, can't anybody play this game better? And you realize that you must be the one. There comes a time when a decision by a man to get into the arena has often been made by the difference between the greatness or mediocrity of a nation. That is why I am in this. The system is rigged and is broken. It is for the very few. There was a time, as you saw here, my party leader stood up from his offices in Electricity House. He was one of the most successful lawyers at the time. And he came out of his profession to risk his life to fight for the human rights liberation, second liberation, which we have today. Kenneth Stanley Jindo Matiba is another one such hero. This is not necessarily done by the people who are in politics. It takes all of us, especially the young people I see here, to say this time we are going to be involved. No matter what, it is our time, it is our lives. Kenya is a country of firsts. We waged an armed struggle against the British colonialism, grabbing our country. We won. Itweka. We fought single-party dictatorship. We won. Itweka. We fought in peacetime for a new progressive 2010 constitution that secured the rights and dignity of every Mwananchi in this country. We won. Itweka. Our courts, which have been in the forefront of ensuring those rights in that constitution are upheld, protecting the constitution, had a landmark ruling in 2017, where they nullified a presidential election, a first on this continent. We won. Itweka. We also have, for the young women here, kama mumesahau, the first Black African Nobel Peace Prize winner, Wangari Maathai. We won. Itweka. But Kenya is at a peril. Despite all these national milestones, repeated government failures have brought the country to its knees. At independence, we inherited a very dangerous virus, kama hii corona. It has been mutating in every election cycle since 1964, taking different names, taking different colors, taking different shapes. The second generation of the original virus is positioning itself to mutate into a third variant. Virusi, hatari. It is another 60 years of slavery and deprivation in the making. Hatari iko mbele yetu. Our concerns must be with the future generations. The world is changing. What platform are we giving them? The old order must die. It must be wiped out. We must end transactional politics. Itweka. Our country has been mortgaged to crippling debt, killing economic activity, incomes, opportunities for our young people. Our young people have lost purpose. They cannot see their future. Kweli ama si kweli? Kweli ama si kweli? Their dreams and aspirations have been shattered. Kweli ama si kweli? We must never pay a debt that has been borrowed so that people steal. Kweli ama si kweli? Every cent must be accounted for. There's propaganda out there ya kwamba Kenya is the 6th wealthiest nation in Africa. Mumesikia hiyo? Let me give you some bare facts. Out of 17 million employed Kenyans, 17 million, mumeshika hiyo? Only 79,000 earn 100,000 shillings a month. 100,000 shillings a month. That is less than $1,000 ulimwengu. That is 0.5% of the people of the workforce of Kenya who earn 100,000. Sio ni aibu sana? Out of every 100 Kenyans, 53 today cannot put food on the table. Hiyo ni aibu ama si aibu? We are talking about fellow Kenyans. There was a time, it was 38, not too long ago, 10 years ago. In February of this year, in 2020, the central bank governor, ili wasiseme we are distorting their mouths. The central bank governor faulted the country's economic structure, which has been delivering growth without job creation or rising income. Yani unaonesha GDP is rising, but the jobs and rising income do not exist.